Hello, I'm Joachim Duplessis. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. Videos of recent fights and brawls involving students in uniform have been circulated widely, prompting a strong response from the public and the Minister for Education, Sean Edward. According to Minister Edwards, such conduct is unacceptable and must be stopped. He said he would be making in-person visits to schools in an effort to get the students to desist from that practice. The Education Minister warned of stern action against those engaging in fights, those encouraging the fighters, and those recording and circulating the videos. His statement that the recorders of the fights will also be punished surprised some public commentators. So we ask, do you support the Education Minister's plan to punish those who record the fights? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
Yes, well, I don't know how far the minister could go in terms of taking disciplinary action against people who record those videos. But what I can see, we are facing a total breakdown of discipline in our society. We have gotten so ill-disciplined, where parents now are thinking that the cell phone would be used, to the advantage of a student. Because, you may have a situation where transport have left them down, they need to make a call. But these cell phones now in school seems to be creating a problem. So it has to be addressed. I don't know how it can happen, but we are just witnessing a total breakdown in our society, breakdown of discipline amongst all sectors.
These are things that incidents of indiscipline have to be nipped in the bud. And when we allow things to grow and fester without taking corrective measures, I think this is basically the cause of what is happening right now. Whether we can address it or I'm hoping we can, because it is really going to destroy our society if we don't. But I can't say I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that it does work. But I have my doubts because I think it's a little too little too late.
Yeah, I think what's one idea is 100% because if you don't do that, the problem will not solve. And those that recording it, making the fight worse again because they are the ones that implementing the fight also. So what China was doing there, it's good. If you don't put a stop to it now there, why is they growing up like that, do you know which way they would take or that way they would take. You understand? So what the channel is doing there, it's good because they're going worldwide already. So plus recording it, make it worse again. So I feel that's a good idea.
The minister is right. He has to do something in a sense where they could enroll parents that don't have much to do, at least give them a little salary so they can make something at the same time and still be at the school to monitor the kids. Or if not, have the police intervention to always patrol in the area so they know that when the police are there, that will create a little deterrence in them. They don't want to get into fights. But they have to put some kind of security to prevent fights from the school. Because there was I remember I was watching an article where there was a thing in the States and it was the parents that had to get involved, Those parents who were not working came to the school, the fathers in particular, they came to the school and they were patrolling the school and preventing all negative energies, all kind of old fights that were happening. The fathers were there to stop, say, yo, that's not the way, we got to do it better. Those who record the fights, they're the instigators. They're the ones who carrying, the man you is the man say you is they're the one carrying the information across. So they have their phones ready to videotape the fight, to laugh, to create. They're the ones creating the problem.
Well, I support his idea. I believe when the school children fight on the road or they find themselves in problems, it causes some embarrassment to the families. So I think the government should put some laws in place, and they should have put that a long time ago. Laws in place to prevent these things from happening.
I think what he said is true. But I think we have to go further with the home. We have to be, even the politicians, even in parliaments, the way we behave, our children look at us. And if we don't put ourselves together, that the children will always find as if whatsoever they do, whatsoever they say, they're right. So we have to start with the politicians, the homes, the church, to bring that thing into control.
How about those who record the fights?
Also, I think recording the fight, I think it encouraged more indiscipline.
These children need to be disciplined at home, and parents have to show more love to these children, show that they are concerned. We parents, we don't care with our kids, like we leaving them on their own most of the time, and these children are going wayward. So we have to bring back our children, and for those that are recording these fights, we have to put certain things we have to put certain measure in place.
Okay, yes, whatever I seem to be hearing from the Honorable Minister seems to be looking at restorative strategies, how to restore law and order after these laws have been broken, or in terms of even probably how to curb bad behavior. This is good, but we also need to balance it off with preventative measures. What can we do in terms of preventing the frequency of those fights? And I think it goes back to issues of socialization, issues of agents of social control in our society. What is being done, or what has happened to those institutions?
How about those who record the fights?
Okay, yes, I think some persons do get pleasure in actually recording the fight and having something to broadcast. I think, yes, if we could actually make that deviant behavior and get it punitive, I think that will also go a long way.
I mean, I have my daughter at school, and definitely I think parents will get involved in that, because it's not only the children that's going to get involved, because they will come and report the fight, and adults and everybody will get involved in that kind of thing. So we need to put a stop to that, definitely, man.
How about those who record the fights?
And those who also record the fights, like, you're no different from those that's fighting. It's an accomplice. So whoever that has the phone recording, there's no different from whoever is fighting. They need to confiscate their phones and put something in place for those people. And students should not have their phones at school. All this need to be implemented, brother.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. Former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony, during the last sitting of the House of Assembly, raised questions about the channeling of the funds of a loan extension for the construction of the St. Jude Hospital during the reign of the Alan Chastney administration. The funds were transferred to an account in Panama, and the payment of more than $2 million in commission was made to an individual or firm yet to be disclosed. Dr. Anthony said, for the very same loan in 2014, there was no commission paid and the funds were channeled through the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, who was asked about the matter during his guest appearance on What Makes You Mad, said it was irregular. Taiwan's Foreign Affairs Minister has since commented on the matter, saying that his government and their agencies did nothing wrong. The leader of the opposition, Alan Chastney, says the statements are reckless as they implicate one of St. Lucia's most supportive allies. Prime Minister Pierre says his government has no issues with the government of Taiwan, but his concerns are with the Alan Chastney-led administration's handling of the loan and payment of the more than $2 million in commission. So we ask, do you think the handling of the loan and the payment of more than $2 million in commission should be investigated? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsalucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.